Hello, grade 5, welcome back to a new grammar video, and today we're going to be talking about grammar unit 3. So let's get started, and I hope you enjoy the video. Now, grammar unit 3, I know the handwriting is a little bit small, so I hope you can see it, but hopefully my loud voice will make up for the small text, for the small writing. Anyway, grammar unit 3 is all about the simple tenses. Now, from the word simple, simple means easy, right? And this grammar unit is going to be easy. In fact, it's going to be easier than easy. That's how easy it's going to be. It has the word simple, it has the word easy built right into the name. Okay, so that's how easy it's going to be. Now, the grammar unit starts with the sentence. Now, this grammar lesson is the same lesson from the ebook. It's the exact same lesson as the lesson in the ebook. But I will explain it over here on the whiteboard. Now, a sentence always starts with a capital letter and it ends with a period. So this is especially important when you write your exams, when you write essays, when you write paragraphs. It's important to start every new sentence with a capital letter and to end the sentence with a period. So don't forget the periods. I know some of you are hungry for the periods and the commas. But if you keep on eating all the periods and commas in your sentences, yes, you might feel satisfied, you might feel full, but the sentence will not be a sentence anymore, okay guys? So make sure to end the sentence with a period. Now let's look at an example. Cornelius likes apples. Capital C for Cornelius, and I ended the sentence with a period. Let's move on to the next title in the lesson, and that is the verb. Now, the verb is the heart of a sentence. I cannot have a sentence without a verb, without the verb. I cannot have a human body without the heart. So the heart is the main part of a sentence. The verb is the main part of a sentence. For example, Cornelius likes apples. So the verb is likes. Now, if I remove likes, what does the sentence become? Cornelius apples? Doesn't make any sense, right? That's why the verb is the most important element in a sentence. Now, the tenses actually begin. We're talking about the simple tenses, right? So now the tenses actually start with the simple tense. With the past tense, with the past simple. So let's start talking about the past simple. I will use the past simple to talk about finished actions. For example, Cornelius ate the apple yesterday. Now, the apple is no more. I don't have an apple anymore. Why? Because Cornelius ate it yesterday. So the action is finished. That's when I will use the past simple. Now, it's important to check for hints, for example, in your exams, because the sentence will contain hints for the past simple. For example, in this case, the hint is yesterday. So if you're not sure which tense to use in your exam, for example, or in your grammar CA, check the hint. There will usually be a word which will show you the time of the sentence, and this word will be the hint. It will help you in figuring out the tense, okay? Cornelius ate the apple yesterday. The hint is yesterday. Now, to make the past simple, to create the past simple, I will simply add ed to the verb. For example, Cornelius wanted, with an ed, one apple. So I will add ed to most verbs, or to some of the verbs. But there's something else. There's another part to the story. And that's why I wrote it in red. Some verbs are irregular. This means I will not add ed to them. In fact, I will change the whole word. I will change the whole verb. For example, Cornelius went shopping for apples. I cannot add ed to the verb go, right? I cannot say Cornelius goed shopping. It sounds wrong. So I will change the entire verb from go to went. This is an irregular verb. Now, there are many irregular verbs in English. There are so many irregular verbs in the English language. I'm not going to write all of them on the whiteboard, so instead, I wrote the page number. You will find most of them on page 20. So make sure when you review for your CA, when you study for your exam, to check page 20 in your grammar ebooks for a list of irregular verbs. Now let's move on to the present simple. Let's move on to a new tense, the present simple. The present simple talks about something that is always true. For example, I don't know, the sky is blue. Now this is always true, right? So I will use the present simple in this case. I will use the present simple to talk about actions that happen all the time. Look, happens all the time. For example, Cornelius eats an apple every morning. Cornelius eats an apple every morning. Now, I'm sure you guys also have a routine that you like to do every morning. So in this case, you will also use the present simple. Now, to make the present simple, to create the present simple, I'm going to add S to the verb. You will notice how I added S to the verb eat. Cornelius eats. So I will simply add S to the verb. But not to all the verbs, only the verbs with he or she or it. So what does this mean? What does this mean? If I'm using the present simple, not for he or she or it, if I'm using the present simple for I will not add S. Look, I eat. I erased the T over here. I eat apples. No S. You eat apples. Again, no S. But look what happens when I introduce a he. Now Cornelius is a he, he's a boy, okay? Now Cornelius eats apples, so I added S to eat. Let's look at another example. Let's look at a she. Now Alice is a she, okay? Alice is a girl, so Alice eats apples. Let's continue. The cat eats. Now cats unfortunately don't eat apples, so I'm gonna write tuna over here. So the cat eats tuna. Again, I added S to the cat. Now in this case, the cat is an it, right? It's an and. So remember guys, to add S only to the verb if you have he or she or it as a subject. Otherwise, do not add S. Let's keep going. We eat apples. We is not he or she or it, so no need for an S. We eat apples. They eat apples. Again, I don't have he or she or it, so no need to add S. They eat, without an S, apples. Now, there's another important section for the present simple. Just like how there's an important section for the past simple, there's another important section for the present simple. So I wrote it in red over here. Sometimes we use the present simple to talk about the future. Crazy, right? Mind-blowing. But we actually do it all the time. Sometimes without even noticing. So sometimes we use the present to talk about the future and we don't really notice it, but we do it all the time. For example, the apple arrives at 6:30 p.m. So I ordered an apple from Temu. I don't know why would anyone order an apple from Temu, but the apple arrives at 6:30 p.m. Now it didn't arrive yet, it will arrive in the future after a few hours. So I can use the present simple to talk about the future. Look, I added S to the apple. Now in this case, the apple is an it, right? So you see how it all makes sense? You see how all of the pieces fit together like a puzzle? Let's look at another example over here. The crate of apples lands tomorrow. Now the crate didn't land yet, it didn't arrive yet. It lands tomorrow. Notice how I also added S to the verb because I'm using an it. Now the crate or the box is an it. It's not a he or a she, right? The box is not a human being. So I will use it, or I can replace crate with it. And what do I add with it? Which letter? S, right? That's why I said it lands with an S. So the crate lands tomorrow. This is an example of me using the present simple to talk about a future event. Now, speaking of the future, let's jump to the actual future tense, to the future simple, and let's study it together. Let's review it together. Let's analyze it together. Let's digest it together. I know some of you are hungry for the letters and the lessons and the tenses. So if you're hungry, now is the perfect moment for you, okay? This one's for you. Let's go ahead and digest the future simple. Now, I will use the future simple, I hope you can see over here. I will use the future simple for future actions. Mind-blowing, right? Crazy. So, are you saying that you should use the future simple for the future? Wow, crazy, right? So easy. Guys, you will notice how truly kindergarten level this whole lesson is, okay? I will use the future simple to talk about future actions, promises, or plans, etc. For example, Cornelius will eat the apple tomorrow. Now, he didn't eat it yesterday. This is not the simple past. He's not eating an apple every morning. This is not the simple present. He will eat the apple tomorrow. So this is the future simple. Now, how do I make the future simple? To make the future simple, put will before the main verb. Put the word will before the main verb. For example, Cornelius will buy a ton of apples. Okay, boys? Okay, guys. Not only boys, but guys. Okay, guys? Okay, everyone? Because not only guys. Anyway, let's go back to the lesson. You can use guys, by the way, when referring to males or females, boys or girls, men and women. So you can say guys in general. Hey guys, what's up? So you can use guys in general. Okay, guys? Let's go back to the lesson. You can change, Cornelius will buy a ton of apples. So again, this is another example of a sentence used in the future. Now, you can change all of these tenses to the negative. Now, guys, don't freak out when you see the word negative. When you see the word negative, it simply means adding the word not. That's it. For example, you are doing your exam, you are doing your quiz, you are doing your test, you are doing your CA, and you see the word negative in the question. Don't lose your minds. The word negative simply means adding the word not. Now, I can change all of these tenses, the past simple, the present simple, the future simple. I can change all of these tenses to the negative by adding the word not. For example, Cornelius did not eat the apple yesterday. This is the simple past. Cornelius does not eat an apple every morning. So I changed this sentence. Where is it? Over here. I changed this sentence to the negative by adding the word not. Cornelius does not eat an apple every morning. This is the simple present tense. Now you will notice how even in the negative, even in the negative, I will still add s to he or she or it, but this time I will not add s to the verb. No. This time I will add s to does. So I will still use the s in the present simple with he or she or it, but I will not add it to the verb. I will not say Cornelius does not eat. That's wrong. Instead, I will add s to does. Okay, guys? So watch out for this common mistake. Many people make mistakes when they are trying to change the present to the negative. They put the s in the wrong place. But after this video, you should know that you have to put the s to does. You have to add s to does, not to eats. In case you are using the negative. If you are not using the negative, add s to the normal verb. But if you are using the negative in the present simple, add s to does. Okay. And finally, let's look at an example in the future. Cornelius will not, again, the word not, shocking, right? Cornelius will not eat the apple tomorrow. This is the future tense. Now, I would like to remind you guys to watch out for hints. For example, the first sentence is in the past. I used the word yesterday. Sentence number 2 is in the present. I used the hint. I used the word every morning. Sentence number 3 is in the future. So I used the hint. I used the word tomorrow. Okay, guys? That's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Guys, if you are interested in buying glasses that will forever shield your eyes from all the bright lights, harmful lights, device lights, phone lights, computer lights, tablet lights, artificial lights, blue lights. So basically any kind of light that isn't natural daylight, natural sunlight. So if you want to protect your eyes and if you want to say goodbye to headaches, whatever, if you want to sleep like a baby, if you want to enjoy a good night's sleep, check out the link in the description of this video. I will share a link for these glasses. So if you're interested, you can check out the link, okay guys? But other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you soon.